it was a wonderful win for the Jets. It really was. And it's the last week they're probably going to be in first place. When you look at that schedule and that O-line and now Zach Wilson, that's fourth place. Listen, Aaron and that offensive line, you, I, everybody. Didn't we say, God, if they can go 3-3 through the first six, you got a new coach, a new city, a new culture, a new O-line. You don't know about your tackles. Aaron Rodgers, we thought, was 6-6. Now it's Zach Wilson at Dallas's defense. Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, Belichick at Denver. Aaron was always the difference with this team between 7 wins and potentially 11 or 12. I've had coaches tell me this, that a great quarterback actually makes your defense even better because they feel all they have to do is make a stop and get the ball to the Hall of Famer. Michael Vick had that relevance and that ability. He was in Atlanta. Players felt like just give Michael the ball. He'll make something happen. And that was Aaron Rodgers. It's a gutting loss. But he had 3 dropbacks last night and had to move for all of them and got hurt for the last one. Robert Saleh deserves major props. The Jets' defense was amazing. It looks even better this year. They were optimistic, never lost energy despite the injury. They still had plenty of fight left. On the field a lot. It never tired. And Zach Wilson didn't lose you the game. I never want to overreact to 1 week in the NFL, but after 1 week, I look at the Jets division and 4 things are true. Miami's offense may be the best in the league. Buffalo still has a better quarterback and a better overall roster. The Patriots are going to be a tough out, and the Jets needed Aaron Rodgers to get to the playoffs. They just do. It stinks. It's a great win. It's not going to be a great season. We've said this. With older quarterbacks, offensive lines are even more crucial. When the Rams' Matt Stafford had a good one, he won a Super Bowl. Last year they had injuries. He got hurt. Tom Brady to Tampa. First move, get me a right tackle. They draft Tristan Wirfs. Get me Gronk, a great blocking tight end. I did not have the Jets in the playoffs before the season started. Virtually everybody else did. I bought into the hype train a little because he's Aaron Rodgers. He's one of the most gifted throwers I've ever seen. Maybe first or second best. Dan Marino's up there as well. But this team needed Aaron. Defenses can only be on the field so long. I looked at the Jets' schedule this morning, and remember, last night was the healthiest the Jets' O-line is. What if they have an injury? Mekhi Becton can't stay healthy. Dwayne Brown is 38 years old. So last night was the best of the offensive line. But if you look at the schedule, with Aaron Rodgers, there is only 1 game on it. They would have been the Jets at a quarterback deficit. That's Mahomes. But it looks like to me Josh Allen's regressed. I'd take Aaron over Josh. I'd take Aaron over Russell Wilson. Look at the schedule. In every game but one, you could argue the Jets would have the best defense on the field and the better quarterback. With Zach Wilson, not trying to be mean, but they will be at a quarterback deficit in 13 of the 16 games. How long can you ask your defense to save the team? Listen, 2 things can be true. It was a gutty, impressive win, and it will not be a great season. Aaron Rodgers was the difference between 7 and 11 wins. I don't think there's a single NFL player, not one, that misses a coach more than Josh Allen misses his former offensive coordinator, Brian Daboll. Since Brian Daboll became the head coach of the New York Giants, Josh Allen, from that moment until tonight, has 20 picks and 7 fumbles and leads the NFL in giveaways. His mechanics are worse. He's had drama with his star receiver, and he still won't slide. I didn't like what I saw last night. And I understand with Allen's size and athletic ability and his talent, I'm not asking for perfection. Okay, this is not a guy that needs to go, 28 of 34. It's not what I'm looking for. But he is a heavyweight fighter, and he has lost his corner man. Mike Tyson was never the same once he lost Cus D'Amato. And people would argue Tiger Woods was never the same when he lost his swing coach, Butch Harmon. It doesn't matter if you're a magnificent singing talent. You'll notice in Hollywood the best actors often lean and work with the same directors. over and over and over. Josh Allen misses Brian Daboll. Last night, these numbers are weird and shocking. 0 for 5 on passes over 20 yards, 2 picks, and a 0-0 passer rating. Tiger was never the same without Bush. Mike was never the same without Customato. 3 years ago, we looked at the best quarterbacks in the league, and I think all of us would agree it was Mahomes 1 and Josh Allen 2. But when Mahomes goes off the rails mechanically, and he does about once a year, Andy Reid brings him back home. When Josh Allen goes off the rails, and he's there right now, Buffalo's got a defensive head coach and a defensive-minded culture. They still can't get their O-line right. It's like Steph Curry. Steph Curry, if you've watched him, we have and we love him. He's J-Mac's favorite player and probably mine. Will have these stretches where he gets really loose with the basketball. And then Steve Kerr, bring it back home. Let's reel it back in. Let's go back to basics. The greatest talents need somebody in the sidecar. A man, a woman, a trainer, support, whatever it is. Josh Allen misses Brian Daboll. That is not to say that Ken Dorsey's not a good coach, but there are certain relationships in the NFL. Matt Ryan, Kyle Shanahan, it was magic. Matt Ryan's still good without him, had great years without him, but he was better with Kyle. Creative, mega talents, sometimes they go off the rails. I love Lady Gaga. The meat dress moment, it's like, let's reel it back in. A little too far out there. But I feel like when I watch Josh Allen, he's not the same quarterback as I felt his last game with Brian Daboll. Mechanics won't slide, deep ball, not as good, impatient, not as accurate. Ball last night, one of the interceptions, 2 were just brilliant plays. One of them was just, it's like he threw it to the safety. That night was so many different things. It was hype and optimism. It was fantastic. There were so many great emotional moments right before the injury. And then in the injury, you're basically praying, crossing your fingers. Okay, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I immediately ran to the Jets schedule. I go online. Okay, they'll lose to Dallas. They'll hang with Kansas City. They can beat Denver. And then Robert Saleh after. It's bad news. And this morning, Aaron Rodgers is officially out for the year. This can still have a happy ending. It's not going to be in the next 8 to 9 months, but it still can end well. We cross our fingers that it does.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.